Well, good morning. I'm back out in my local woodland again to try and capture what I thought would be the last of the autumnal colours, but walking around this woodland it's become very, very apparent. There's still quite a lot of green around and we're rapidly heading towards December, so it's sticking on. I'm out with Steve and he's brought me to one of his favourite little spots here within this woodland, there's a shot that he got here of a beautiful pano incorporating this oak here, which you can probably just make out on the camera. I'm not going to copy that shot, but it is a beautiful tree and I'm going to shoot it. And I've started off really simple, just a nice simple portraiture of that beautiful oak tree, which has got some beautiful sort of mixtures of colours. So you've got yellows, oranges, greens. It's just a really nice simple image. I'm shooting at around 200mm. I'm really just making the frame full of that tree because it's got some beautiful shape and colour to it. Shooting at f9, 1/50th of a second because it is quite a breezy day, so I've had to up the ISO a little bit, shooting at 1600 ISO, but that's not a problem. So yeah, really quite happy with this shot. Just a nice basic shot to start the morning off. Yeah, really happy with this. And just while I'm here as well, I'm just trying out a new tripod this morning, which K&F by Kentfaith have sent me. I've been looking for a smaller travel tripod recently, and this just seems to fit the bill. It's only sort of 1.7 kilos with the geared head on, and yeah, it seems absolutely solid, but lovely and lightweight. Sometimes it's just completely impractical to be lugging around my massive Ben Road tripod, which weighs around 4 kilos with everything, you know, attached to it. So yeah, this is so far working out quite good, but I'll talk to you a bit more about that in a bit. Let me put this photo on screen for you now. Shooting the same tree, and the light's actually really quite nice. It's just got that, like a subtle sort of goldenness to it, which is just really enhancing the look of these leaves, to be honest with you. So I'm shooting the same tree I was shooting a moment ago, but I'm going for a wider scene. Placing the main character, that oak tree with the beautiful sort of arms coming out everywhere, on the right hand third, and strangely for me incorporating a holly bush, which I don't normally like in my woodland scenes, but I think with a bit of careful processing it shouldn't be too much of a distraction. I do find with holly bushes, they tend to have a bit of a shine to them that can really look quite distracting, but if I'm just really careful with editing, it should be okay. And incorporating some trees on the left hand side just to anchor the left hand side of the image. But also just on the ground here, there's this fallen part of an oak tree, some branches there, that I've just placed in a certain position where they kind of lead you through to the main oak tree in the background there. Getting the tripod up really quite nice and high here, just to give a bit of separation between that fallen branch and the oak tree. Yeah, so just to talk a little bit more about this tripod, it's definitely an enhancement on the previous K&F tripods that I've had. For example, this center column here has this really nice big bulky sort of lever that you twist here, which is far better than what you used to have. You used to just have like a little piece of rubber, which over time did start to slip quite a bit, but this is much better. Yeah, nice and solid. So yeah, really impressed with this. Anyway, let me put that photo on the screen now, and I think we're going to walk a little bit deeper into the woodland and see if we can find some more shots. Moved over away from that oak tree now, it's just over there, and I have framed up another image again using a telephoto lens. I just love using a telephoto lens in the woodland. You can just pick out some beautiful details, and this is really quite a simple scene. I've taken 2 shots, one in portrait and one in landscape. Between me and Steve, we're undecided if we prefer landscape or portrait, so let me know what you think in the comments. But basically there's this oak tree here which has got this branch sort of arching over with some lovely shape to it, but it's kind of framing some leaves in the background there which have turned a lovely shade of yellow. Really nice simple scene. I'm thinking possibly as the portrait shot, a 4x5 crop, just taking out some of the sky and some of the foreground which is a little bit messy. And on the landscape, just sticking with a sort of 4x3 crop. So yeah, really quite like this. Let me pop it on screen now. And just one other thing I wanted to mention. Myself and Steve, we have a Facebook group called Thumbs Up Photography, and the group has been going now for just over a year. We're almost at 500 subscribers, and Steve has I kind of set Steve up a bit. He said that if we reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, he's shaking his head. If we reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year, he's going to dress up in one of his vlogs, and well, I might join him and give him some moral support. So if you are interested in checking out the group, I'll put a link in the description. Go and check that out. Steve and I have been walking for a little bit and came across the edge of this sort of coniferous part of the forest here. But set within this part of the forest, there are some young, I think they're young, beech trees, which have got this most beautiful array of yellows, oranges and reds, which a moment ago looked absolutely spectacular because the sun was just coming through the canopy here and just lighting the scene up. And with those beautiful, rich colours set against the dark background of the forest beyond, it really looked quite special. So it has gone quite dull now, as I say. I'm just going to wait for the sun to come out again, hopefully, and try and grab this shot. So just to explain a little bit about the composition, I'm at nearly 70mm, and really it's all about those colours. So I've just framed it up in such a way that you've got sort of a bit of a sort of bookend on either side of this pine tree here, and I think it's another beech tree on the left-hand side, really sort of anchoring in that colour in the middle. Really, really quite like this. So if the light works out any good, I'll pop out on the screen in a moment. But while we wait for the light, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about this tripod. So the tripod is the K&F X284-C4. It's a fully carbon fibre tripod, and without the centre column extended, it goes to 1.4 metres, which is what it's at now. And with it extended, it goes up to about 1.7. So it's a really, you know, good versatile tripod. And as I think I mentioned earlier, the centre column itself has this really solid lever here, which really you can lock down, and it makes the tripod really, really quite sturdy. The tripod itself does come with a ball head. It comes with the K&F Concept BH36. You can see there. Obviously you can see I've put the geared head on here, also by K&F Concept. I have a link for that in the description if you want to go and check that out. Yeah, I won't be using this too often, the ball head, because I much prefer the geared head. And one other thing to mention as well, the tripod comes with these rubber feet, but with all my tripods I actually prefer to have spikes on my feet so I can really anchor the tripod into the ground. So yeah, just a message really to K&F, if you are listening to this, would absolutely love if you gave the option to purchase your tripods with spiked feet rather than rubber feet. Not a complaint, just an observation. So yeah, really, really happy with this. I think it's currently retailing at about £159, but there's a 10% discount you can get at the moment on K&F if you use my offer code, which is MHP8 in checkout. I'll put a link in all the description below. So yeah, go and check that out. So the light has just done what I wanted it to do. It just got this subtle soft light flooding in through the canopy here, lighting up this scene. So I'm really quite happy with this. I'm going to be really careful with the processing just to make sure I don't blow any of the highlights out. But this should make a really quite nice image. So let me pop that on screen now. So no idea where Steve's gone, but I have just taken another shot here using a similar principle to the last shot I was taking. Again, you've got this young beech tree here with these rich golden colours set amongst these conifers here, which is really quite nice, that contrast between the straight branches or the straight trunks of the conifers, and the more shapely nature of the beech trees themselves. So yeah, I really quite like this. Shooting at 70mm, and I'm actually at f5.6. Just let the background just ever so slightly drop off, which I think just adds a little touch of softness to the scene. So yeah, quite happy with this. I'm going to pop it on screen now, go and catch up with Steve. So I was just walking to catch up with Steve, and he's just messaged me to say that he's had to leave. Yeah, he's abandoned me. But I think I'm going to end it too, to be honest with you. I've had a fantastic morning in my local woodland. I think I've got a couple of quite nice images. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, and you know, I highly suggest to you, if you're struggling with woodland photography, just get out there, get into your local woodland, and just start taking photos. And the more you do it, the more you'll find that your woodland photography improves. But just on that point, I am now offering workshops on my website. If you are interested in the workshop on either landscape photography or woodland photography, check out the link in the description below, and yeah, I'll be happy to try and sort out a workshop for you. It's really aimed at, from beginners to advanced level, setting up compositions, how to use your gear correctly, how to focus properly, how to expose properly, all that good stuff. So yeah, hopefully we can sort a workshop out for you. And finally, just another mention about the tripod that I've been using today, which is the K&F Concept X284-C4 by Kentfaith. It's an absolutely fantastic tripod, and it's great to see how far K&F have come forward in their design and quality of their tripods. I've been using K&F tripods for quite some time, but yeah, the improvements they've made with this tripod, the quality of the twist locks, the quality of the actual tripod, it just feels a lot more solid, to be honest with you. And just a few more design features that I think are really standing out quite nicely, including the lever for the center column. It's a lot more robust, feels a lot more solid. So yeah, I think I would actually trust that tripod, not just as a travel tripod, but also in some pretty extreme environments as well. Yeah, especially with the use of spikes, you can really anchor that into the ground. It's a good solid tripod. So I do, if you are in the market for a new tripod, highly suggest checking it out. And yeah, you can get 10% off your order on Kentfaith if you use my discount code MHPH on checkout. So saving yourself 10% off your order. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please leave us a like and comment below, and it would really help if you subscribe to the channel. But anyway, thank you for watching. See you soon.